Hi, I'm Kim Ho. In this series, we'll be talking to people who have interesting, inspiring, or intriguing stories to tell. This week, we meet Sharon Wong, founder and CEO of Motherswork. Sharon grew up in a rubber plantation in Ipoh and studied accountancy in Australia. She had a high-flying corporate job, but her life took another turn when she became a mother. Her search for maternity dresses and the best products for her children led her to start Motherswork more than 20 years ago. What began as a side business is now a multi-million-dollar retailer of products for babies, children, and mothers. There are now Motherswork stores not only in Singapore but also in China, where it is one of the country's top 50 most influential companies in juvenile products. This is her story.
I was a first-time mom. I was breastfeeding and I was just weaning my baby. When I was trying to use the bottle to feed my baby, it was leaking. So I went back to the store and they just changed the tits. Second time it was the same thing. Third time was the same thing. I'm crying, my baby's crying, my milk is leaking, and no one could help me. Finally, the fourth time, I'm like, surely somebody knows what is wrong. It can't be me. And the fourth visit, the store manager was there and he said, oh, it's just the wrong tit matching the wrong bottle. And that's when I thought, surely someone can do a better job in helping first-time moms, because I was a first-time mom at the time. First-time mom, making it a little less overwhelmed. Motherswork started as a hobby project. It was my little store with everything I wanted, with the service I wanted. We brought in maybe 10 products at the time, all the products that I've used and I wanted to use, and the moms just took to it. And I realized that just because it's not available in Singapore doesn't mean mothers don't want it. So in 2012, we went looking outside Singapore. We went to Malaysia, Indonesia, and China. We came home empty-handed because everyone told me to go home. Who are you? You're a small, medium enterprise from Singapore. And a month after we came home, one of the malls in China actually reached out. And they said, hey, we have space. Do you want to come? It was dead space though in 2012. But we didn't have a choice. It was going to be my stepping stone. Opening day, not so smooth. There was a demonstration at the time in China. The demonstrations are very well organized, by the way, but we couldn't enter the mall. The taxi driver dropped us 2 kilometers away and we walked to the mall and there were no customers. And I thought, what have you done, Sharon? You are gonna lose everything. This is like your last dollar. This is what have you done? This is in Beijing. And then they opened the barricades. At about 1:30, people started coming back into the mall. And we had a queue at the cash register. And I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've done something right. But when we closed the till for the night, we found fake currencies. Welcome to the big world, Sharon. We didn't know. I mean, where on earth in Singapore would you even think of fake currency? That was the first inclination that, hey, you're in the big world now, big bad world, and you have to learn good and bad. And of course, China is such a huge economy. So we had to run fast, evolve, adapt, and on repeat, perpetually, to catch up with the China speed. I recall the third day of Chinese New Year of 2020. I was coming home to Singapore from Malaysia and there was a spot that I couldn't get Wi-Fi. And finally, when we got into the Wi-Fi zone, my WeChat was just ringing away non-stop. It was my China team calling, texting, saying that the pandemic had hit and the malls have told them all to shut down, to go home. This was the third day of Chinese New Year, which is our biggest shopping day in China. There wasn't enough masks in China and we said, look, close the store, just go home and wait. We didn't know what would happen. So by the time it hit Singapore, we had learned it from China. So very quickly we pivoted the business. We put the whole sales team to service online. We became a virtual business because the very important thing is mothers, they cannot wait. The babies cannot wait. The babies are going to come, they're going to come. So in order to service our community of moms, we took to virtual personal tour. We have curbside pickup so that the team was just basically pivoted to servicing moms virtually. And I took to Instagram. We started live IG series. And interestingly enough, that continued to connect with our community of moms. And I think today it is all about connecting with mothers out there, making sure that they're not overwhelmed and making sure that their mental health and well-being is taken care of. So over the last 20 years, aside from taking care of their prenatal needs, the postnatal needs, we are now the first baby store that actually sells sensual toys to moms because we have to take care of their mental and sexual health as well. Over the pandemic, the pause had allowed us to refocus back on our moms instead of just providing products to serve and let them have a seamless motherhood journey. We've refocused back on them to create this community, and we wanted to take that beyond just Singapore and China, possibly into the next countries that we will be opening, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Indonesia.